What's up, everybody? This is G Beast, your host of a Lesson in Headbanging Podcast with G Beast. Welcome to another YouTube video, and on this YouTube video episode, I will have my review on two shows I went to last week. The first one will be Ghost and Amon Amarth, who swing through downtown Chicago right on the lakefront during midweek. Phenomenal show. I did purchase a merch item as well, so we'll kind of talk about the show, the set list, and what was the vibe at the show for Ghost and Amon Amarth. And then show number 2 was a weekend show, and it was no other than legendary icon Southern rock band Lynyrd Skynyrd and ZZ Top, a co-headlining tour. It was a phenomenal night of classic Southern rock. Phenomenal. And I do have a piece of merch I did buy, so maybe I encourage you guys to go see the show and buy their merch as well, because you gotta support the bands, right? So I'll give you guys the set list, the vibe about the show and whatnot, and just kind of hang out, man. So if you went to either shows, or maybe you went to a specific show recently, drop it in the comment section down below and hit the subscribe button, since you're ready here, right? And Lesson in Headbanging Podcast is available on all major podcasting outlets like Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and more. Go check it out and follow me on my social media platforms, Lesson in Headbanging Podcast, which is now available on Facebook, X, Instagram, and of course right here on YouTube. All right, I'm going to shut up. Let's talk about the review right now on Ghost and ZZ Top with Lynyrd Skynyrd, right here in the Lesson in Headbanging Podcast. The first one we'll talk about is Ghost and Amon Amarth, and then the second one is ZZ Top with Lynyrd Skynyrd. Both great shows. Again, if you're a fan of classic rock, Southern rock, ZZ Top and Lynyrd Skynyrd were phenomenal. If you're a fan of modern hard rock and heavy metal, Amon Amarth and Ghost, excellent tour as well. So let's talk about the Ghost Amon Amarth first, since that was the first show of the week. And this was at the Huntington Bank Pavilion in Northerly Island in Chicago, of course, right on the lakefront in downtown Chicago. Nice, beautiful scenery of, the skyline, the skyscrapers at night. Nice, cool breeze of the lakefront. It was a great night for rock and roll. And you know what? My thoughts about the whole show. So the experience before, I got stuck in traffic just like usual, trying to find a parking, right? So the parking for the pavilion was all sold out, and they made everybody park at Soldier Field. And if you're a Chicago native, you know what Soldier Field is, the home of the Chicago Bears and the NFL. And they have their own parking garage, and the parking was brutal. Almost, half hour to 35 minutes just to park? Man, dude, I was pissed. I was looking at the time, 7 o'clock Central Time. Show starts at 7:30 Central Time. We haven't parked yet. I'm like, what the F? 7:15. Not even remotely halfway to the parking garage, because the way that they structured the city of Chicago, the way that they structured the layout, how they wanted people to park, traffic. 7:20. I finally entered the garage. According to Google Maps, it was an 11-minute walk from the parking garage to the venue. Of course, I arrived at 7:30, got in line, and Amon Amarth starts playing. And of course, I missed out the first three and a half songs I missed out, but it is what it is. But nonetheless, here's the set list of Amon Amarth who kicked off the show. So Amon Amarth kicked off the show with Raven Flight, Shield Wall, Head Run. And by the time I got in and got my seat, they started playing Deceiver of the Gods, so phenomenal. And then, number 5, I'm glad I made it in time for song number 5 in the set list, Put Your Back into the Ore. If you've been seeing videos online of fans sitting down and paddling, making everybody paddle, of course I did it, right? Phenomenal. All right, number 6, The Weight of the Vikings. 7, Guardians of Asgard. 8, Raise Your Horns. And 9, Twilight of the Thunder. Great set list. The band sounded great. The sound sounded great. The set was phenomenal. If you ever seen Amon Amarth live, they have an awesome set. I mean, their drum riser set is like a giant Viking head horn. They have like inflatable, what are there, Viking fighters? What do you call those? I don't know. They had giant Viking blow-ups, and then they had giant blow-up inflatable dragon steam coming out. Eyes are glowing. It was phenomenal. They had, of course, you have guys fighting on swords of swords, you know, stabbing the shit out of each other. Come on, that's Viking. That's metal, beer drinking music. And I always been a big fan of Amon Amarth. Okay, this is not the first time I seen him. I seen him a few years ago, and I'm glad I saw him again. Phenomenal show. Of course, they have their merch there, which I didn't get, but again, I was on a budget. But it was a great, great show. So I highly recommend seeing Amon Amarth if you're planning on going to see Ghost on their U.S. tour of 2023. Okay, so Amon Amarth comes on. Fans are losing their damn mind. Out comes Ghost. And look, a lot of people are like, oh man, they're not metal. Ugh. Look, they are the next arena band. Okay, I saw them at the Allstate Arena in Chicago, right? They're the next arena band. And I'm going to keep pushing it. Same thing with Greta Van Fleet. You can talk smack, okay? Yeah, Led Zeppelin, White Line. Again, we need the next arena rock band. The Land of the Giants, they're slowly fading away. Okay? What I mean is, Aerosmith is planning on retiring. Kiss is allegedly planning on retiring for like the 200th time, right? Ozzy's health is not doing good. He's sitting at home. Black Sabbath is done. Slayer's done. Who knows how long Metallica will keep on pushing, right? The Scorpions, I mean, thankfully they're still going, right? Healthy. Van Halen, we're not going to get another Van Halen. The Godfathers, the Land of the Giants of rock and roll, slowly fading away. And we need the next wave of rock and metal bands to headline these massive arenas. NHL, baseball, football stadiums, and arenas. So, say what you want about Ghost, but they are popular and they're gaining steam. A lot of fans I've seen at the show, a lot of these younger kids finally discover them. Doesn't know their prior history. So it's amazing they're picking up these casual fans, which is good, right? We need these fans to get these bands on that plateau. So, Ghost, let's talk about the set list. And it was a colossal of a set list. It was damn near, what, an hour, 2-hour show? So I'm going to post up the set list up here on YouTube. Here on the podcast, I'll talk to you guys. So they came out with Kaisarion off the new record, right? Kick off the show. And then we got Rats, number 2, From the Pinnacle to the Pit. Spillways, of course, a very popular song off the new record. They play Spillways, Circus, Absolution, and one of my favorite songs off the Papa No. 3 album. I know I'm bad of album names, but Papa No. 3, Absolution, great song. And then they brought out Ritual, right? From the first album. Great song. Call Me Little Sunshine from the new record. Con Calavi Con Dio from the first record. Talk about evil and dark. Watchers from the Sky. I love that song from the new record. That's one of my favorite songs of the new record. Just the double, just a double bass. I'm thinking about fishing here. Double bass beats on the drums. Jeez. All right. Year Zero. Talk about another classic from the early albums. Let's see, we got He Is. Talk about a classic ballad from Ghost. Really great. Mia Sama. Come on, Mary on the Cross. Mary on the Cross. Come on. Replicate of the Spitalfields. And then we go to Encore, right? Kiss the Go-Goats. Come on, rock and roll. Dance Macabre. And then they end the show with Square Hammer, the iconic Square Hammer. Phenomenal song. Great, great show. Man, the set, if you saw them on the first leg of the Imperia tour, of course, they had like the cathedral-style backdrop. They have stairs as the drum risers. They have pyro. Phenomenal. You had Tobias, or fans know him as Papa, wearing his headdress. Got the bat, Ozzy Osbourne bat coming on stage. Great show. The band sounded great. The solo sounded great. The drums were phenomenal. Ghost was phenomenal. As I mentioned, I will have show and tell for YouTube. And here is, of course, I got a poster. Badass poster. Right? Right? Pretty neat, right? Of course, they had a merch stands for the t-shirts and whatnot for Amon Amarth and Ghost. And they had a separate poster stand with just all posters. So I got myself a poster here for 10 bucks. Can't beat it. It's a massive poster. A lot of these posters you've seen around me on YouTube right now are like, what, 35 bucks, 20 bucks? This was 10 bucks compared to a $45 t-shirt. And I'm not discouraging you to buy a t-shirt because that's the way to support the band, right? Buy a t-shirt. Again, I'm on a budget. I'm planning on seeing Lynyrd Skynyrd and ZZ Top in a couple days. So I kind of, you know how it is. We're grown-ups. We know how to budget. But, man, phenomenal show. Well worth the trip at the lakefront. And it was great to see Ghost at Amon Amarth once again. So, again, highly recommend it if you want to go see Ghost and Amon Amarth. All right, let's cruise on to the weekend concert number 2 review. And it's no other than the legendary rock icons ZZ Top and Lynyrd Skynyrd. And you got Uncle Kracker, of all people, opening it up. And I'm very well aware of Uncle Kracker, right? If you're a fan of a more of a country rock style group, again, I'm aware of him. Know a few songs, but you know what? Why not? I'll check them out, see how they were, and they were pretty good. Pretty good. Now, will I walk out with an Uncle Kracker t-shirt? Probably not, but it was pretty decent. Not too bad. They sounded great, and it fits right in the mold for this tour for all the Southern rock fans out there. Uncle Kracker, pretty decent if you're a fan of country rock, which is a big thing right now all across major rock radios and satellite radios. All right, Lynyrd Skynyrd comes out, and man, I had good expectation as always. I was very excited because this is my first time seeing Lynyrd Skynyrd, and man, it went beyond my expectations. I mean, they blew my mind. I swear to you guys, Lynyrd Skynyrd blew my mind. Of all the bands I've seen in my life, Lynyrd Skynyrd was phenomenal. Phenomenal. Again, you have Van Zant, the younger brother of, I'm bad with names, sir. I believe who's the current, was that Johnny's Van Zant? Johnny? And, his older brother, obviously, if you know the history of Lynyrd Skynyrd, his older brother, Van Zant, passed away in a plane crash, right? Back in, 77? And lost a few crew members as well. And, from there on, that's where Skynyrd kind of went away for a little bit. Eventually, the surviving member, Gary Rossington, who's no longer with us, rest in peace, who passed away earlier this year. And he was the only original member that passed away. So there's no original members. You got Ricky Medlock, who's been part of the Skynyrd family since the early days. But he's also in the band. He had the Van Zant, the lead singer, fronting. You got Damon Johnson, who replaced the late great Gary Rossington. But it was a great, tight band. Phenomenal. They sounded great. And, a nice crowd. The demographic of the crowd was in the older 50s, 60s, 40s. A lot brought their lawn chairs because this is an outside amphitheater at the Credit One Union Amphitheater in Tinley Park, Illinois. So a great crowd. It was a nice night. By the way, the Ghost and Amon Amarth demographic was I don't know, maybe teens all the way up to maybe 30s and 40s, 50s, the demographic. The ZZ Top and Lynyrd Skynyrd graphic was roughly around, the 40s, 50s, and 60s. And me being in my 30s, I enjoyed them. So Uncle Kracker came off, and out comes Lynyrd Skynyrd, and they cranking Panama, that Van Halen. Thunderstruck by AC/DC, showing the slideshow of the history of Led Zeppelin, Lynyrd Skynyrd. And then the first song on the set list, as I post above me here, Working for MCA, Skynyrd Nation. Come on, the classic What's Her Name? That's a great boogie song. That Smell, oh man, I love that song. Number 5, I Know a Little, Whiskey Rocker Roller, Saturday Night Special, The Battered of Curtis Lowe, and come on, Tuesday Gone. Man, that is a classic. Simple Man, Give Me 3 Steps. That's a song will get you boogieing. Call Me the Breeze, Sweet Home Alabama to get the fans happy. And then we do the encore. Fans that scream at every show, no matter what show you go to, Freebird. And man, I love that the ending of Freebird, the piano, they have the classic Freebird, statue on the helmet, or not the helmet, the hat, the piano. It's just a great show from Lynyrd Skynyrd. The fans were chanting Skynyrd before the encore. The fans were just going insane. They were great. And the next time they come back around, I will see them. And I highly recommend them seeing them. Go out and see them while you have a chance. Because, again, they were teasing a farewell tour. Gary passed away, and apparently they're going to continue. But I'm not sure if they're going to call it quits anytime soon. But Lynyrd Skynyrd, phenomenal. Show and tell, right? Lynyrd Skynyrd merch. Pretty cool t-shirt if you're watching on YouTube. Has a Harley Davidson style t-shirt. Right? It's pretty neat. I love this shirt. I saw this and I'm like, I want this one. They have some ZZ Top t-shirts. They have the Tress Homebase t-shirt, but you can buy it online as well. But I figured I'd get this one because I like this. This is pretty neat. And the only Lynyrd Skynyrd t-shirt now is in part of my collection. So great, phenomenal. And I'm like, man, ZZ Top, how they're gonna top this? How they're gonna top this very tight, well-tuned oil Lynyrd Skynyrd? I'm like, man. But ZZ Top came out and they killed it as a 3-piece. And if you know about being a 3-piece band, you have to make it sound tight. You have to make it sound good. Me being part of a 3-piece band, again, the smallest mistake, you can hear it. So it was phenomenal. The ZZ Top came on. They had all the amps set up. Frank Beer's drum set. I love his drum set. It looks phenomenal. It has like a whiskey barrel on the bass drum. And man, I love the color. Silver, black, nice and smooth. It just makes you want to drink a bottle of whiskey, right? And Frank Beer drums look great. The amps look awesome. And out comes ZZ Top. And they kick off the show with Got Me Under Pressure. Elwood Francis, the bass player. With this 16-string bass. It's phenomenal. Again, replaced the late great Dusty Hill, rest in peace. Billy Gibbons coming out, looks great, sounds great. Starts off the show with Got Me Under Pressure. Number 2, I Thank You. Number 3, Waiting for the Bus. Talk about a classic. And number 4, man, that got the crowd pumping. Jesus Just Left Chicago. Come on. You got to play that song in Chicago, right? And man, Jesus left Chicago. Man, the fans were just losing their damn mind. But man, classics. Give Me All Your Lovin'. Come on. Pearl Necklace from the 80s. I'm Bad, Nationwide. I Got to Get Paid. I think that's the more newer song. And that was more of a beer piss break for a lot of the fans. My Head's in Mississippi. 16 Tons. Just Got Paid. Sharp Dressed Man. Man. And Legs. They brought the fuzzy guitars and bass for Legs. They did the encore. Then they did Brown Sugar, Tube Snake Boogie, and LaGrange to end the show. What an awesome show. Man, if I had to do it again, I would do it again. And if they're still on tour and they're coming to your neck of the woods, go check out ZZ Top and Lynyrd Skynyrd. Phenomenal. If you're a fan of classic Southern rock, even if you're not, have an open mind and go check it out. I guarantee you will love them. So overall, 2 good shows. Again, for the modern rock and hard rock, heavy metal fans out there, Ghosts of Mount Martha, highly recommend. And for all the classic rock fans, Southern rock fans, ZZ Top and Lynyrd Skynyrd, go check it out. They're both tours on tour right now. Go see it before the summer ends, because who knows will we get these packages again. All right, my friends, until next time, horns up, stay heavy, and I'll talk to you guys next time.